Mhm. Mhm. So you did last year? That's cool. Mhm. So you did last year? That's cool. Mhm. So you did last year? That's cool. Mhm.
You're live. Welcome back to the Oval Podcast, where we are here with guest Dillan Baldwin. Dillan, if you'd like to say hi to everybody watching,
Yeah, thanks for having me.
or watch you pick up a win this weekend. I know that was super fun for you. Second
Oh
win.
yeah.
Uh,
You?
no, we're super excited to have you. So yeah, we'll get started here. Pull up my all the time. Okay. Well, to start off, would you like to tell us about your background and how you got started in dirt track racing?
So my dad first took me to Eldora Speedway to watch the Kings Royal, and when I was 2 years old, so I've been I think 2010 or 2011. So ever since then, I've loved it and always grew up around it. And then 2000, I don't know what the years are, but when I was 7, I got my first champ cart. I raced that for a couple years. Got into quarter midget, ran those for a couple years, and here we are in sprint cars.
Yeah, for sure. And you're already looking pretty good on the sprint car. You definitely got some speed.
Oh yeah.
What are some of
So,
the biggest challenges you face racing, both on and off the track?
um, sponsors are a really big one. We're fortunate to have quite a few good ones, but they're not easy to find. And when you do get one, you have to really work at that relationship and make sure it continues. And it's all about helping help like helping the company and how they can help you. It's kind of goes both ways to make sure they get something out of it when you do too. So
For
that
sure.
that and probably just learning the car was
Yeah, those are definitely probably the biggest things. I'm dealing with the sponsor part right now, trying to get some. Probably gonna get a couple deals coming in here soon, hopefully. Um,
Good.
anyway, how do you prepare for a race both mentally and physically?
Um, I go to the gym twice a week. I wish I could do more, but just try to stay physically fit as much as I can because these things can go bad very quickly. So I want to make sure I'm strong enough to take an impact. Mentally, I don't really do much mentally. Sometimes I'll listen to music on the road, but other than that, that's about it.
Yeah, um, I gotta get myself in the gym soon, but gotta be strong, always ready. What
Yes,
do
right.
you think sets dirt track racing apart from other types of?
Um, hmm, I think it's just the thing of the track change. I know the asphalt tracks change, but I feel like dirt probably changes the most. And dirt, there's a cushion you gotta learn to run. You gotta learn. I feel like there's just a lot more to it than things like oval, where 9 times out of 10 you're probably gonna be running right around the bottom and passing on the inside. Whereas dirt, you're throwing sliders, crossing people over, running top, running bottom, middle sometimes. There's a lot of like different elements to it.
Yeah, for sure. Personally, dirt track racing is better than anything else. Got more vents. Just a lot more fun to watch. Can you describe
Yeah.
your favorite racer and racing environment and what makes it so special?
Um, that's tough. I think it would have to be when we have family there. Just racing is a family sport, in my opinion. And when I get to, especially when we race at Atomic, we got a lot of family up there, and when it's just nice to see them a lot because we live in Kentucky and a lot of my family's from Ohio, so to see them more often now, and we all love racing, so to do it with them is a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. Family is everything. How do you and your team make decisions about strategy and car setup during a race?
Me and my dad are the main together. We're a crew chief. I feel like because we both spend probably too many hours in the garage working on the thing and at the track, but usually we'll kind of put together what he sees off at the track and what I feel in the car together, kind of debrief after each time on the track and get a game plan. And we'll usually have stuff we want to do, like initially to the car, and then there'll be things like, hey, if the track does this, we'll do this, but if the track does this, we'll do this. Like, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Dad definitely knows how to set it up. Um,
Yeah, we're trying.
yeah. What advice would you give to somebody who's just getting started in dirt track or honestly any kind of
Ooh.
racing?
Um, Learn to work on your own car. I feel like that's something that helped me is being able to know like how the car was handling, and then I could go and know exactly what setup or what changes to the setup we should make. Because say the car's loose or tight, like there's um you can learn that, which is good, but I feel like you have to go more in depth because um if I say the car is loose, that doesn't say whether it's loose on entry or exit, and I can't make the perfect adjustments to what I need instead of some like going off vague feedback. You might not get exactly what you need out of the car or the setup change. But if you're more precise, and what I feel like is exactly what changes you need to make based off because you felt what the car was doing in that exact moment.
Yeah. I agree with what you said there. Um, Definitely gotta know what kind of information you have to pass on to get the perfect car. Or so you're
Sorry, it cut out.
you definitely have to know what you're talking about and what to say to figure out what you need to do to the car.
Yeah, I agree.
Big part of it. How do you balance the risk of dirt track racing with the rewards of competing at a high level?
Um, just I think safety equipment is it's very reassuring. The sport's dangerous no matter what, but it's something I love and I know the risks, but I'm willing to take the risks. But I do everything. Um, I feel like in my control to protect me in case something does happen. We make sure our safety equipment is exactly how it's supposed to be. Like we have custom seats. They are, some stuff is more expensive, but at the same time, it is. I feel necessary to keep me safe in the car.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely gotta know that you when you get into racing, you have to know the risk that comes with it. And if I'm correct, one of Tyler Courtney, or I think in that dirt thing they was doing for flow racing, the like little series with Kyle Larson, T-Miz, and or Justin Grant. Can't remember which one of them said it, but they said if you're scared, you ain't gonna get nowhere.
Very right.
Gotta be ready to go. Um, Looking ahead, what are your goals for racing in the future?
Um, Probably try to find a way to drive for another team because doing it on a family deal is manageable, but it's definitely not easy. And it's not gonna be easy. Um, Anyway possible, but or in any situation. But I feel like if I can find a team that I can, run with, and I feel like I work pretty well with just about anybody. But if I can, find a team that has more funding than we do, and maybe help them step their program up another level and be able to kind of spread my wings a bit more and see what I can do, I think that would be my next goal.
Yeah, I think that one would be very good. It's a very good one. I hope to do the same eventually. What do you think the most important skills and qualities a successful dirt track racer needs to have? A racer in general. These are mainly for dirt track, but racing in general.
Just the hard work ethic. If your races are one in the shop, that's what I've been taught since day one. So if you're willing to put in the work to make sure that the car is right when you go to the track, I think you'll find success.
For sure. Do you think that iRacing carries over to the real world of racing?
I feel like it depends on the car. Like sprint cars, they're getting better, but you really don't. All I have now is kind of a single monitor and a wheel, but I feel like if you have maybe more of a motion rig and a VR, I think it's probably better, but you don't get the same, how do I say it? Like, you don't get the same G forces. You don't feel what you feel in the real car, in your seat, in the sim. Like, I would say it gives you the general idea of what it's like, but it's not the full experience.
Sure. Oh, tired today. Uh, How do you approach the mental game of racing, and like what techniques do you use to stay focused and competitive?
I've never really done anything to say like focus. I just set a goal and work to achieve it. There's not really any like steps I take to do that. It's just I set my sights on that one goal and I chase it. I do whatever I can to make it happen.
Yeah, definitely. Some people have different ways of looking at it with mental, and some people just don't really have anything for it and just try to set goals. I like what you said. Definitely, some people. How do you deal with like setbacks and disappointment, such as like crashes and failures? And not speak. I'm tired.
If anything, it's just more fuel for me, and then it makes you want that much more because you had to work so much harder to get there to where you want to be, and you look back at all those things, and if anything, they're just learning experiences, right? 'Cause you're learning. Okay, well, this went wrong. You gotta figure out why it went wrong and how to fix it so it doesn't happen again. It's all part of the process to get to where you want to be. So yeah, like I said, it's just more fuel to the fire.
Yeah. Can you talk about the role that your team plays in your racing career and how you work together to achieve success?
It's like I said, it's all a family deal. So
Yeah.
me and my dad, we're working in the garage quite a bit. And my mom, she helps out a lot with social media stuff. So she does all my Facebook and Instagram posts and takes pictures at the track. So that helps a lot with sponsors. But that's kind of it's a very small operation, but we get by.
She definitely does. She definitely takes some good shots of you when you're not expecting it. Just
Oh
posted
yeah.
a new ones yesterday. This week, I photobomb
I
all of
haven't
them.
seen those.
I'm professional
Oh,
photobomber.
did you?
What are some of the biggest changes that you've seen in dirt track racing in general over the years, and how have they affected the sport?
Mm, You know, I'm still 15, so it's kind of a tough question for me. I
Yeah.
think, man, that is tough.
If you don't got an
I
answer,
think,
we can skip that one. So what I always
I
like.
think, yeah, I don't know.
Okay, we'll continue the next one. Um, how do you balance the demands of racing with other aspects of your life, such as work, family, social? Oh my good gosh! And social obligations.
I think my main obstacle is school. Like, there's stuff that has to be done in the garage, but then sometimes I'll have homework, so I'm up late trying to get my homework done. I just try to set a time limit for each one, and then I'll finish. I'll get what I can done in that amount of time, then go back. Like, say I'm working on homework, I'll give myself in that 2 or 3 hours work on homework, and then once that's up, I'll go work on the car for until 8 o'clock. And once that's over, I go finish my homework before I go to bed. But it's definitely not easy with. Well, now we're on summer break, so it takes a lot of the load off. But
Yeah.
still, with like during August and late in the school year, it's not easy.
Racing, in my opinion, school should look at some of the hobbies that kids can do outside of school and try to help them to where, especially like racing. I know most people do not care about racing and they overlook it and think it's just some dumb thing and it's so easy to do and this and that. But honestly, I think school or the boards and school government should look at some of the outside and help try to work around, especially stuff like that.
Yeah, that would help a lot.
Mhm. um, you can discuss the different types of tracks that you've raced on and how you adapt your driving style to each one.
We haven't been on too many big tracks. I think the only really big tracks I've been on is Red Hill, Florence, and probably Carolina. I like those tracks, but I
I
think
know you
short
were.
tracks are
I know you showed a lot of
short.
speed the last time you were at Carolina.
Yeah, we were pretty good there, but short tracks are my favorite. I think a lot of the driving style changes is mostly like how fast you are on the wheel or how aggressive. Because big tracks, you're trying to keep as much roll speed as possible, so you're trying to be smooth on it, smooth on the wheel. But at a small track, you really gotta like Beckley this weekend where it's tight and you're not worried as much about roll speed. You're just trying to get the car through the corner and straight as possible. So you gotta be a lot more violent. I wouldn't say violent, but aggressive on the wheel.
I hope that series comes back and they can do that big 2 day race up there. I don't know if you heard it, but one of the officials they're talking about some sort of 2 day race, possibly. I guess everybody watching, you'll have to watch out for that.
I'll be there.
What do you think the most important safety considerations for dirt track racing? Oh, what do you think are the most important safety considerations for dirt track racing? How do you ensure? Oh my good gosh! Ensure that you're taking the necessary precautions. I think it's because I just ate a cup of ice. Anyway,
I think fire is probably the like special trained EMTs would be is something important because not all of them are experienced with how to they don't know how what it's like inside of a race car, so they don't know sometimes where the belts are, fire extinguishers are, and stuff. So I feel like that's probably something like that should be to improved.
race cars can definitely uh mm, uh get catched on fire at any point, like we saw. What's his name last year? Was DJ Neto or whoever drove
So
that Tarleton car or whatever? I cannot remember. Somebody caught on fire, and luckily they'd be able to get him off of fire, but that fire would not come off of him. I'm glad he got out of that okay. How do you stay up to date on the latest developments in dirt track racing, such as new technology or rule changes?
a lot of it is just talking to people at the track. Like through our series, we're all very like I guess you can say close, but we all get along pretty well. So we're always willing to help each other. And if we say, hey, this like Sean, before he passed, he helped us a lot at Travelers Rest because the dirt was a lot different. So we went down there and we basically had no clue what to do on setup. He helped us a lot, but it's a lot of communication really between racers at the track.
Rest in peace to him. Definitely, I could tell he was a big part in that series.
Oh yeah, he was.
Can you share any exciting plans or upcoming events that you have on the horizon for your racing career?
Mm, it's we just kind of go day by day. I have to look at the schedule, but I think something that's gonna be cool is the sprint car is gonna be back at Terre Haute, and the 305 is gonna be there. So I know that's a pretty historic track. So I think I consider that big.
What's your favorite thing to do when you're not racing? I think I know the answer, but maybe not. Could be wrong.
I You'll be surprised. I like to fish.
Me too.
Um, I don't get to go hardly ever, but when I do, I love it. So that's kind of my non-racing related hobby.
I like to go. I didn't get to go at all last year. But can you tell us about a hobby or interest that you have outside of racing?
Fishing, but I'll tell you, I'll go a bit more in depth on it. So every year, me and my grandpa will go, and my dad and brother will go to my grandpa's house in Lake Cumberland. We'll go fishing down there for a day or two. And a few years ago, we caught some catfish. So that was one of my good memories. So we got to cook catfish and eat it for dinner. That was a good memory.
Definitely sounds fun. I love fishing, but I don't get to do it that much. What's your favorite movie or TV show, and why do you like, or why do you enjoy it?
I love the Water Boy. Bobby Boucher is my hero. Um, I just like his story and how he comes back from people not believing in him and proves them wrong. I think that's just kind of I think it's a cool story.
Definitely. Do you have any pre-race rituals or superstitions that you follow?
Um, Gotta think about that one. I don't None that I notice, but I'm sure if you ask my dad or my mom, they'll give you a few.
If you could race on any track in the world, which one would you choose? Why?
Eldora, easy. That's kind of the reason I love racing. Like I said earlier, that's where I went when I was 2 years old and watched King Joel there, and I've loved it ever since.
Why are they right now? Got 4 wins this in 2 days, and then people still say I can't race because I'm running a fixed 305 on iRacing. But oh well. Anyway, um, what's the craziest thing that's ever happened to you at a racetrack?
Probably flipping. I know that's kind of normal. I
Nuts.
wouldn't say normal for some people, but it
Not with the
happens to
sprint
everybody.
guys, but
Well, yeah, but sprint car guys, it's
pretty
just kind of
pretty normal.
the walk of shame is not fun because it looks like you just trashed a car and now you are walking in front of everybody in the stands back to the pits and you just feel like a complete idiot. So
I had a pretty bad wreck and kind of felt dumb, but okay, I laughed about it mainly. Um, what's your favorite meal or snack to eat before a race?
meatballs, I think that's my favorite. Like anything barbecue really, but barbecue meatballs are good. And I've kind of slightly biased to my first win. Um, my first win at Kokomo, we had meatballs before. So
What'd you have before at Beckley?
ah, that's a good question. I don't know.
He doesn't know. Um, if you
You know,
weren't a dirt track racer, whatever their career, would you be interested in?
Probably fabricating welding. I'll learn to weld next year at my vocational school, but I've always loved building things, so that's probably my second in line.
Mhm. Um, if you oh wait, you already got that. What's the best piece of advice that you've ever received, either in racing or in life?
Reach to the checkered flag, because just about anything can happen, so you just can't give up.
that someone's calling me. I just texted them and told them I can't at this second. If you go back in time and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
I'd say probably focus on your goals, or have I would say focus on your goals. Like set a direct goal and don't change it. Just work harder for
Definitely. That's all the questions that I have uh down. Now we get into a little bit of the more fun questions, not so much of the dirt or racing wise. A little bit. We'll get into
it.
whatever. We'll start talking about some stuff since we're only like 30 minutes in. So one thing I like to do every single podcast, I believe I've been pretty good about it every single one. Um, is there any questions you would like to ask me?
Um, how'd you choose your number 15?
What'd you say?
How'd you get your racing number?
Um, well, my dad ran it, and not specifically just because of him, but I found a way to make it look good. Always stuck with it. Last year I was the number 115, and this year I was like, you know what? Switch it back to 15 because I had a number laying around made of the 15 that I did not use, and now I use it on everything.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Uh, what's your racing goals? Like, where would you like to be in
Oh,
racing?
I hope to be like, I hope modified racing gets bigger in the next couple years again, and possibly get to win a couple of the biggest modified races, and maybe get a chance in a micro or midget, and possibly even a sprint car. There's a lot I want to do, and even a late model. I'm open for anything.
That'd be cool. Yeah, that's kind of how I am. I'll drive. Yeah, that's all the questions I have. So,
Well, uh, what's your overall favorite food? We like talking about food over here.
pulled pork, barbecue,
That sounds
anything,
good.
anything meat really, but yeah, especially
Mhm.
barbecue pork.
I got I depending on the meal, but most of the time I have to have some meat with the meal, or else I cannot live. I love my meat. uh, yeah, definitely like me some barbecue. I also like a lot of Mexican food. Definitely
Oh yeah.
very um tasty. Anyway, over into the rap designing world. We know you're a big rap designer as well on the side. Um, how long have you been doing it for?
I started in 2020, so 4 years.
You know, it's crazy. I I actually tried starting in like 2021. Well, no, I got into like the online racing stuff in like 21, and like middle of 2022, I started getting to where I could make an okay rap with straight lines on like my iPad at the time. I'd run it on, like Roblox and because that's
Okay.
all I could run when I wasn't at the track at the time, and now it's transferred over to iRacing and now real life. You helped me with this newest rap that gonna it's gonna be published very soon. Yeah, Dillan helped me.
Yes.
I drew up a concept and then he just cleaned it up for me, and to say the least, it looks amazing. I cannot wait to show it off. Um,
We see in person. It's gonna be pretty cool.
gonna look even better in person, and hopefully Dylan will get
I
to.
hope so.
Yeah, I'm gonna run it next year as well if I'm still running it, and but I should be. Um, Hopefully Dylan will get to see it next year, if not the end of this year sometime. He just ventures down for something. I venture over to whatever race he is. Hard to tell. Um, but yeah, what kind of car is the funnest to design for you?
Sprint cars, I think, especially they're not. I think it's because of its challenge, because like the wings, it's just like a simple rectangle basically. Then you get to the side, and it's all these crazy. It's not as like simple and clean. It's a lot more complex, especially with some of the body styles, and they got pop outs and stuff. So
Yeah, I definitely agree. I enjoy designing a sprint car, and I've gotten better with them lately. Um, and yeah, I've gotten into sprint cars a lot the last year. I'm super happy to see them start to come this way and run. That's definitely something fun that I've been waiting for a while, and now they're trying to make it happen a lot more regular, which is great for this area because East Coast or Southern East Coast does not get that much sprint car racing. It's nice to have it over here.
oh yeah, tracks are good. So
We have some good tracks that are amazing for sprint cars, just like Beckley. I mean, I didn't think it was going to be that good, but it actually turned out to be pretty good.
yeah, Beckley's amazing.
I know you said it was probably in your top 5 of favorite tracks you raced on.
Probably top 30. It fits my style a lot. But
That it kind of felt like back home a little bit.
oh yeah, we're at the
Uh,
top.
well, I'm glad that they decided to do it this year. Last year it was rough.
Yeah, that was not good for the
I know I told you about some of the stories where they had like 3 different cushions and oh my gosh, that was a horrible night. I'm glad I did not run, although I probably would have won that night if I would have brought my car. Um, but yeah, this weekend will make a year since I've raced, and hopefully in 3 weeks it'll be a day since I or something like that. And the next like 5 weeks, hopefully I can have my ride ready to go and run the end of this year and run the full next year that I can make. You know, uh, you run the sprint car and definitely gonna go. I feel like you're definitely gonna get somewhere in the future, and you're already doing
I hope
really
so.
good for how young you are. And
Yeah, that's what helps. There's a lot of time to grow because starting so early. So now when I'm 20, I already have 6 years of sprint cars under my belt.
mhm. Um, what was a big moment in rap designing for you so far? Ask that one.
Sorry, you're cutting out. My internet's been a little spotty today.
What's been like the biggest moment in rap design?
Probably. Ooh, I didn't really think about that. I think doing my first real car or my first sprint car because I've always loved sprint cars. Like that's what I love, right? And my to do to design one was like a dream come true that I never knew I had.
Yeah, definitely. Your work is so good. I really like your work. I like your style of trying to bring some of the rounder shapes back.
Yeah, I think I've kind of developed I wouldn't say it's my own style, but something that you don't see among many people.
And it's like you still keep the straight line, but you just like to round off the corners, and it makes it look good depending on the shape.
Yep.
one thing I've noticed it's different, and you can different look, and you have a good choice of collars and all of your wraps and stuff. We'll see if we have any comments. I don't believe we do. Make sure I don't got no more questions. Think if I can. Oh yeah, I haven't. Um, what? How did it feel to win the Durward competition against a whole lot of designers?
That was that was really cool because I got to present my work in front of a stage of people who are very high in the industry. So um, I feel like I got to get myself out there, and I think that challenge or competition kind of fit my style because there's more than just a design. You had to do logos. Like it was more involved than just the wrap.
Yeah, for. I know your and then your revision, or not revision, but your edited version from the feedback definitely looked a lot better, and it looked quite amazing. It's definitely one of the best wraps I've seen probably in a while.
Yeah, thank you. Those guys really know what they're talking about. And I've learned a lot from them.
They definitely gave us a good stuff to work with, and they help us a lot. But
Oh,
I think that's gonna bring it to a end here on the episode. We definitely enjoyed having Dillan back, and who knows, we might get him back on here next year after he gets hopefully some more wins and gets a little bit more experience, and we'll have a lot more to talk about there.
I hope so. Thank you for having me.
Problem, Dylan. Definitely fun to have y'all. And thank you for watching, guys. We'll see you on our next show. We have no idea when that'll be, but hopefully not too long. But I'm pretty busy the next couple weeks. Hopefully, hopefully we can get one in next before I start racing again, and then the off season we're gonna try to make that one a fun one and get a couple really big drivers in here and really get a start for this. Anyway, have a good night and y'all soon.